Right.
How many
Um.
how many
Two,
dice are you giving?
two, and I will explain
Mm-hmm.
the gift dice as needed, but I am using a metric for it. Two.
Mm-hmm.
So, Sky Temple Knight, would that be that would be appropriate for me, right? For this
Absolutely.
to get
Yep.
dice for it.
hmm
Yeah, for me it's raised by water wardens again because I'm trying to do some
It's
ninja
it's
shit.
right in there with that evasive, ninja crap.
Yeah.
Works for me.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Perfect.
I don't know if anything applies. I mean, I'm wondering maybe wild and uncontrolled if we really get to, having to, but I don't think it's more a behavioral thing. So I think I have 2 dice, and that's that.
Well,
I have that
you are
much.
operating physically right now. You're trying not to be grabbed, and you're trying to get closer to Washi. Think of this as sort of an
Mm-hmm.
athletic thing. Do you have anything like that?
No, I don't
Okay.
think so.
All right.
I don't
Good
think so.
enough. In that case, I believe our pools are reasonably small at the moment. So anybody who wants to put in any pool dice, please feel free.
I
I'm
have
going to throw
0.
in.
Manu, I didn't
I'm
hear.
going to throw in 4. I'm going to throw in 4.
Okay. Lorenzo?
So I should have a total of 8.
I will add 2 out of my 5, so I will roll 4 dice.
Okay. Everybody, roll.
I failed. Sorry, I rolled like 2 seconds in
That's
in
fine,
advance
yeah.
because I had yeah.
Okay, nothing there. Lorenzo?
Failed.
Oh, awesome. Lose those pool dice. Manu?
I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, no. You all borked out? That's like all those dice, no ones? Oh my God. Okay.
I lost 4 pool dice. I can't believe it.
Excellent.
Oh my
Exactly the way
gosh.
it should be. Okay. Well,
Okay.
all of this
Mm.
basically is going to play out like this. The people who are holding Washi, one of them will say, "Hey, you, stop that. Help, help." And the other one, stops and they grab you and they basically sit on you and repinion you to the pole. And I'm also going to say that this kind of wakes them up to the fact that they were lollygagging, and so they're gonna scoot you along, at a much quicker pace, deeper into the village and up the hill. And so then, with Lorenzo, I'm sorry to say that you are definitely going to be, sort of slammed down on the ground, and pole arms are going to be in your face, and the armor is being pulled off you, and the lead of the guard, the Holy Squad fellow, um, basically says, um, "You're going to tell me everything about what you just said." And looks up at the priest and says, "This is Holy Squad business," very defiantly at the priest. And which is weird because Holy Squad, right? Priests, you'd think were okay. And so then we have the situation with Tiru, who, well, the chance for religious reconciliation seems to have moved past us.
You
I
mean
think it
Bushi?
makes sense.
Yeah,
I
Bushi.
think
Sorry,
it
I'm
makes
doing it again.
sense
Right.
that the people of the village have different religious sects because we are 3 people, we have 3 different religions. This feels like 16th century Germany,
Right. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
religion-wise.
Well, if you're talking about diversity among members of the village, okay, we'll hold off on that one.
Mhm.
But the main issue here is that Bushi is going to get tied to his own pole, and the priest very defiantly.
You got some company, Clyde.
Yeah, the priest very defiantly toward the Holy Squad guy in exactly the same tone is pointing to Bushi and telling him, "This is temple business. So in other words, you get, I get this guy. You want that guy? Okay, fine. I get this guy. So now the upshot then is that we've got the two of you are captured. The both of them surprisingly issue simultaneous synonymous orders to everybody else present. So it's like they both want the same thing, but they didn't know it. So they're both saying the same thing. So Goosh is supposed to take charge of the rest of these unfortunates, feed them, put them in with people, decent people to keep an eye on them, separate them, and sit tight, right? So that the priest and the guard both have issued effectively the same instructions to everybody present. So that's what will happen. The pilgrims will be ushered off into different spots, and Tiru's going to be, taken to a nearby building, whereas Bushi and Washi are going to be, in a matter of fact, I can even see the two of you like hanging from your poles, and you kind of look at each other as you're hanging there, as you're getting scooted up there. So that's the outcome of all of that.
Okay.
So I will describe to you your new whereabouts, and then we will see how that goes. The new whereabouts for our two religious captives is going to be this very nice temple building that's built by the lake. Remember in the map of the village, there's that really nice temple across on the other side of the lake. You guys are taken there, and you're going to be moved up into that plaza, and the important looking priest fellow is saying, it's a perfect day. Spo shall grow yet more, and the others all say things like Spo grows, and Spo increases, and one of them looks a little puzzled and goes, Spo gets bigger, right? And so they all have these sort of these responses that all involve Spo
Enlarging.
See, right, like that. And so what happens is the priests are being called. People are coming out of the temple and and gazing at the two of you. And just about that point too, just as this priest is he's actually stripping off his robes. Apparently, you do this without robes. This is awesome. He's looking forward to this, and so he's saying, prepare the ritual space, and everybody is rushing about doing things in the interior of the temple, and then things fall quiet because into this region from the temple wanders an older frog, a female frog, who's very nicely appointed, right, with ritual ornaments and things. And she says, pilgrims, come to join us, come to worship. How wonderful. And everybody's really freaking cautious all of a sudden. So that's happening. In the case of Tiru, you are not up in this temple area. You're in this side area, right, of and across the little creek, a little bit up on the hill. And then this is going to be a kind of a rough and ready manly man sort of hall where manly men go and they practice their weapons, and they go and march up and down and learn code words and stuff like that. And so there's a weapons rack, and holy squad armor is displayed, and there is a metal sculpture of a handsome cobra, which is placed like in the corner, prominently, like a front corner of this hall. So you'd actually walk into it from the side and be right there. So it's not like tucked away or anything like that. But it's the only appointment of that kind here. The various ornamented and appointments of the temple that you guys are in would be full of interesting things to see, but you're upside down and things are difficult. Unless you really want to, scope it. So, what would the three of you like to do now? There are people who want to talk to you. I mean, this Urop, you have learned, is the name of that same head guard guy, Holy Squad fellow. Urop wants to have a conversation with Tiru, for sure. But they aren't doing anything awful to you, right? They're not, putting you on a rack or anything like that.
Mm-hmm. I'm open to talking. I mean, I offer no resistance.
Okay. So this conversation will be occurring. Now, what about up there at the temple?
On my side, I'd like to understand if this ritual is about to involve us or not.
Oh, very much so.
Oh yes, yeah. I saw it from your face.
You have a shall we say a
you are
role.
beginning the snake.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm the protagonist of such ritual.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I guess we are still tied to these.
I'm sorry I
poles.
tied you there, but you're not getting untied until you get untied.
Yeah, no, I'm not getting untied anymore, definitely, because I feel that conflict. But I'm worried, like, how are we placed in this,
Yes.
sort of temple? Like,
This
who's
is
holding us?
Right. Let's build it a little bit. Absolutely. Well, I'm remembering the picture of the village, and that there's the steps of the temple go straight to the lake. In fact, there are even boats that go there, and then these steps go up. There's this open plaza with trees arching over it, and with roots actually busting up, through the bottom, through the flagstones, and then in there, as you go under the canopy of the branches and into a place with a roof, and this is probably the most built up structure in the whole village. So it's been here for a very long time. It's stone. It's been worked, reworked, repaired, polished. I mean, it's an old and functioning place of worship and has been tended to lovingly for a very long time. So there's that. Then you are just into the entrance of this temple. So you don't see anything like how far back it goes or anything of that kind. But you do know that effectively now you are just inside. The room itself is rather broad, about 17 or 18 meters across. The floor goes down, so it's actually quite tall. The roof is quite tall. Light is filtering in from above. Perhaps there's a skylight or a crystal or something up there. And it doesn't have a lot in the way of furniture. There aren't cabinets or things like that. There are pillars, and there seem to be some statues and things. It's not quite obvious to you whether there's some sort of worshipping spot here. I mean, you are just in the entrance, so it's not clear to you whether there's some sort of worshipy spot. Some of the portions, like sectors of the walls of this room, do look as if they were dedicated to doing something, but again, you're not in an ideal vantage point to analyze them. As far as where things go from here, there are several points of departure from this spot into parts of the temple. This is not an enormous temple of elemental evil or something. It's not like there's acres and acres of rooms, but it's big enough so that you can go to different places from this spot.
All right, so yeah, I'd like to try to talk to the main woman here, or well, main frog woman here. And I think at this point, I must have gotten a little bit the hang of whatever they're saying, and
Oh
I
yeah.
also spout some. I say the enlarging thing about Spo, like I say, Madam, may Spo be enlarged? Um, may I ask your rightful form of address,
Hmm.
Your Excellence?
All right, and there's several things going on. One is like uh, uh, shut up, says one of the fellows holding you, in a almost sort of desperate way. Shut up,
Mm-hmm.
and then the priest, as I have described, seems to be rather enthusiastic at the moment, but his attention is on this newcomer and is caught like almost like with one foot up in the air, doing about to start his sort of human sacrifice, his frog sacrifice dance, and he's like caught like by her entrance, and he's like seems to be sort of readjusting his tactics of the moment. And she is going to say, uh, yes, yes, the metaphor is sounds. The yes, yes, Spo grows in our hearts, in our minds, in the blessing upon us all. Everybody's like really irritated or annoyed or, damn it about this. Um, and so, but she's very taken with you, right? So that's one thing. Um, Bushi.
So I see this happen, and then I'm gonna say I'm also gonna address her. I'm gonna like try to incline my head or do some sort of respectful gesture as much as I can, tied up. And I'm gonna say, yes, my thank you for your welcome. My friend and I are indeed pilgrims. But we are having trouble giving proper obeisance to Spo, as we seem to be bound. Our hands and feet seem to be bound.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you guys are clearly capturing the spirit of the moment because clearly, and in fact, the other people are saying things like, you know, who let her just walk around? You know, who? Come on, Since someone else is saying someone else is saying, Spo really wants to grow. I mean, we've got to get this done. And so there's all this kind of chatter right along these lines. So here's the conflict is clear. I think. Are you going to be able to leverage this situation to get you guys unsacrificed ASAP? So both of you can roll. Either success will succeed in that task. Um, Failures will be factored into that, depending on exactly what you've done. You've both appealed to her on these grounds, right? On these, so you guys go right ahead and use those. Um,
And how many dice are you giving? Gift dice?
this is also a 2.
Two. Okay.
Yeah, I'm not sure what trait actually. I mean, yeah, I don't think I got. I mean, I could
I
do
don't.
all right. I could use cut off from all again in like a reverse, like I did last time. I don't think it applies that much. Like, so I think it's just no trait this time.
Okay, Manu.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a stretch, but shield pilgrims and other innocents from harm.
That's not a
Would
stretch
that
at
be
all.
applied?
That's not a stretch
Oh
at
no.
all.
Okay. Okay.
That's a yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. So 3, and then I'll throw in my 1 remaining pool die, so I only have 4 dice. Okay. Here we go.
What happens?
Actually, I'm gonna use my Guardian
One
of the
success.
Yuxtor.
Go
Oh,
ahead.
great.
Go ahead,
I'm
Guardian.
gonna use my Guardian of the Yuxtor's trait because I'm also thinking, well, I need to survive this if I am
I
to.
think there's more than that. I think that definitely if you want to use that trait, you could just invoke it verbally.
Oh, in the sense that, like, I say it,
Yeah.
that
If,
I say, like, I guard the Yuxtors.
right, or something like that, or in the name of the yuck source, that we all rely
Ooh,
on, or something like that. Anything like that. Even just an involuntary oath
I
or
think I'll. I
evocation
think
on
I'll
your
pass
part is
actually.
perfectly good.
I'll pass actually. I'll pass. I think I'm gonna roll it out.
Okay.
I want to do that later.
Okay. Go for it.